Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at a combination of this week's Sunday preview and official prices. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Alright, so we got a massive release coming this week. We have the new Blood Angels launch box, and this thing is absolutely jam-packed and arguably one of the best deals Games Workshop has ever released. This is by far the most value that we've ever seen inside one of these launch boxes. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look. I did a little breakdown of the actual value inside. Now everything in this list is based on the MSRP if you were to purchase the individual kits. And that way we can derive the total cost that all these individual components would come out to. We can compare it to the actual box price, and then we can look at the savings. So the actual box price is $230. So right in line with the previous launch boxes that we've seen. But in order to truly understand just how good of a box this is, let's take a look at the actual prices of the components inside. So we've got a guess on a couple of these prices, but based on the actual Dante model, which is a jump infantry legendary character, he is $45. So we're going to assume that Astaroth and Lamarty's also jump infantry legendary characters are $45 a piece also, and I think that's pretty fair. Then we have our assault intercessors on foot. You get 10 of those for $62.50. Then we have 2 squads of the Jump Assault Intercessors. They are $60 per 5. We have 1 Brutalis Dreadnought, $80 for him. And then the Codex supplement is $30. Now keep in mind, if you're new to Blood Angels or new to Warhammer, that you do still require the regular Space Marine Codex, which is not included in this box. So we're not factoring it into this, but just understand that you do need to purchase that separately. You're also going to get the index cards for all of the Blood Angels specific data sheets, and then also the new Combat Patrol. And that is $35 for the datasheet cards. And then it comes with 3 upgrade sprues and then also 3 of the transfer sheets. Now Games Workshop hasn't specifically said that it comes with 3 of the upgrade frames, but we can tell by how many models are in the set and how many of each set of shoulder pads are in it that it is going to be 3 sets. Now it is possible that they have misrepresented it in the pictures. That's definitely a possibility. But we know for sure there's at least 2. And based on what we've seen in the actual box set in the pictures, there's going to be 3 of them. And the pricing on the upgrade frame is compared to the Dark Angels upgrade frame and the Black Templars upgrade frame. And those are all $35 with 1 data sheet. So 3 of those comes out to a total of $105. So if we total up all of the MSRP of the individual items in this box set, it comes out to $522.50. Now this is the most MSRP value that we've ever seen in one of these box sets, and in my opinion is an absolutely phenomenal deal. Now you could argue that certain things aren't worth the MSRP price, but the fact of the matter is that's what it costs if you go out and buy them individually. You could also argue that some of the stuff in the box set is redundant, or you don't want it, or it's not good in gameplay, or the models are bad. That is completely viable, and that's 100% your opinion. But the fact of the matter is, if you total up all the components, it's $522.50. The price of the box set is $230. So that means the total savings of this box set are $292.50, which means it is a 56% savings over MSRP. So by buying this box set, you're basically saving over 50% off. And that for Games Workshop is almost unheard of. The typical Combat Patrol discount, if you were to buy the individual components versus the Combat Patrol, is about 25%. The typical battleforce boxes or previous launch boxes we've seen from Games Workshop range from anywhere around 35%. On the lower end to 40% on the higher end. So once again, this is a complete outlier. In my opinion, this is going to be an extremely popular box. It's got 2 brand new Primaris Sculpt character models in it. It's got the brand new Codex and early access to that and the data cards. Typically when we see Games Workshop release these box sets, it's oftentimes somewhere in between 1 to 2 months before they release the Codex individually. So you get early access to it, which is definitely nice. And then also this is first access we'll get to the new upgrade frames as well. Could the upgrade frames have been cooler? Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's definitely a lot of improvements Games Workshop could have made on this. The actual Death Company themselves are pretty cool because they're being upscaled to Primaris size. But the old Death Company kit had a lot more cool options, extra shoulder pads, more eccentric parchment models. But one thing I do really like about this box set, all of those caveats aside, is that the actual Assault Intercessors could be built as regular guys, or the upgrade frames can make them into Death Company Assault Intercessors. And then same thing with the Jump Assault Intercessors. You can run 10 regular Jump Assault Intercessors, or you can use the upgrade frames to turn them into Death Company. And we also see the same thing with the Brutalis Dreadnought. You can run him as a regular Brutalis Dreadnought, or you could run him as the Death Company Dreadnought. So lots of options in this box set. You're going to end up with a lot of extra bits to upgrade a lot of your existing stuff, including like the Terminator shoulder pads, the Gravis shoulder pads. So overall, me personally, I think this is an awesome box. I'm absolutely ecstatic about it. Are there improvements that could have been made or changes that I personally would have made? Sure. But I like the diversity. I like the new offering of the book, the upgrade frames. The 2 new characters are awesome in my opinion. And I am 100% going to be picking up a couple of these. They're absolutely phenomenal. I do expect this is going to be extremely popular. And also, I think it's going to sell out relatively quickly. And the only thing I haven't mentioned so far that I also think could have been an improvement is it would have been cool to see like 1 squad of the Sanguinary Guard in here and then 1 squad of the Jump Assault Intercessors. But I think Games Workshop understands they're a business and that people are going to buy this box set. There's enough new cool stuff in here that people will want to purchase it. The early access to the book, the cards, the characters is enough to get people to bite on this. And then realistically, they know people are going to buy the Sanguinor and the Sanguinary Guard separately. So I think in a lot of ways, this is definitely like a smart business decision to not include some of the other new kits. So that being said, it's not the perfect box, but in my opinion, it's an extremely good box. The savings are massive. It's going to be very popular, and I am definitely excited for this. So all that being said, this is definitely the big release for 40K. This is definitely the most exciting for me, but there are some other things on the pre-orders this week. So let's go ahead and jump down and take a look. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now back to the video. Oh, and also, I did forget to say it earlier, but the Canadian prices for my Canadian friends, it is $280 for the Blood Angel box set in Canadian dollars. And then moving on to Legion Imperialis, we have the Legion Sabre Strike Tank Squadron. You're going to get 8 of these bad boys. These are the mini scale models. $52 for these USD or 63 Canadian. And then we also have the Termite Assault Drills. Again, 8 of these in the box set. $52 USD or 63 Canadian. We have the Leman Russ Exterminator and Annihilator Squadrons. $52 USD or 63 Canadian. And again, you'll get 8 of these in the box set. We also have a bunch of the Middle-earth strategy battle game stuff coming out here, including the Rise of Angmar and a bunch of new models. Those are going to be direct only, so we'll see those on Saturday when they do go live, and we'll get the official prices then from Games Workshop's web store. And then we did just have the Morvenn Vahl Spear of Faith limited edition box set come out. That sold out extremely quickly, but now we also have the hardback version coming out here, and that is going to be $30 USD or $35 Canadian. So quite a big week for 40K fans, also for Lord of the Rings fans, and then of course a bunch of Legion Imperialis stuff coming out. I'm super excited for this. I'm only going to be picking up the Blood Angels box sets, and I'm going to try to get my hands on a couple of these as they are absolutely phenomenal. I am super excited for the new Blood Angels. Obviously, Deathwatch is basically getting wrapped up here and very likely going to be putting them down. I did get an opportunity to travel out to a grand tournament this weekend, probably my final grand tournament with the Deathwatch before the new rules come out and they're basically unplayable. I did end up going 3-2. Unfortunately, one of my losses was to the guy who won the entire tournament, and it was a 2-point spread. I did make a couple of mistakes in that game. He was playing Grey Knights, and on turn 4, I was standing on 3 objectives. He only had a handful of models left, and unfortunately, I forgot to burn one of the objectives, and it would have been the difference between me winning the game or losing. But honestly, it was a ton of fun. The guy was absolutely awesome. It was by far my most fun game of the entire weekend. And even though I did make a mistake and lose, that's all part of playing the game. Didn't take away from any of the fun, any of the enjoyment. And as always, traveling to these big tournaments, running into people that I've met at previous tournaments, opponents that I've had other amazing games with, meeting new people. And also this one was a charity event, so all of the money, including our entry fees, went to a great cause to help out children. The guys running the tournament were awesome, and overall it was a ton of fun. I'm really glad I ended up going. It was a last minute sort of trip, a last hoorah for the Deathwatch. And with any luck, when the ITC points post, I should officially be in 3rd place worldwide Deathwatch player. So it is unfortunate that likely the season for ITC Deathwatch is going to be cut short. Not going to be able to reach the top Deathwatch player in the world. But you know what? I'm pretty freaking happy with 3rd place. I got a late start in the season. It's also getting cut off early. But when I started playing with Deathwatch, they were the worst ranked faction. Almost no one was playing them. I had a ton of fun with them. I did stuff completely outside the box. Very often I was running things like Reaver squads, which basically no one uses. I was using the Thick Boy Gravis kill teams, which are a ton of fun. And even if the actual Deathwatch is no longer viable, I'll probably still be running my Deathwatch army at times as just vanilla Space Marines. And while it might be the end of me running Deathwatch competitively, it's definitely not going to be the end of me traveling around, meeting people, and playing in big tournaments. As overall, it's been an amazing experience. Meeting people from all around the world, having tons of fun games with Warhammer, by far my favorite game to play. And if you've never been to a tournament or you haven't been in a long time, I highly encourage you, pop in, check one out, have some fun. I think a lot of the stigmas in the past are outdated, and for the most part, everybody's just there to have a good time. Winning is just a bonus. So that being said, I'll do a little bit of a tournament, maybe like a Deathwatch season wrap-up over on Tabletop Bros. If you haven't checked out that channel, that's our hobby and gaming content. Link down in the description, so give it a look. And who knows, I may just be playing Blood Angels from here on out. So let me know what you're most excited about this week, what you're going to be picking up, if you think this is a good deal, what improvements they could have made on this box set. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And as always, special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products. And keep in mind, if you're interested in this box set, they are likely going to go fast. They will be available for pre-order at midnight on Friday/Saturday. Over on CMO Games website, so grab one before they're gone. And make sure to tell them that Warhammer Man sent you. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.